Welcome to our goalkeeping tips mini videos. Today we will be talking about goalkeeper and his job during set pieces. When we're talking about set pieces, there are a couple that are involving the goalkeeper directly and a couple where we're just going to quickly mention it. Plus a bonus, we're going to try to talk about how to build a wall. One of the first set pieces I want to talk about is a corner kick. This is applicable for all ages who are playing for a goalkeeper from under 8s to seniors. We want to encourage our goalkeeper to have several players positioned strategically around them. Goalkeeper always should be somewhere around the middle-ish of their goal. I would recommend to organize someone being on a front post, someone being on the side of a small box, probably the best player who can do a header. As for the position of a goalkeeper, we don't want to be caught up too high because if there is a scrummage of players, they can simply block our pathway back to goal. We do not want to be starting inside of the goal to have a big run up into our good position because, again, players can block our pathway. We always want to make sure that we can directly see the ball and we are again covering the center of the goal. When it is a free kick, we need to be distinguishing two actions. One of them is a direct free kick where the striker can shoot directly to the goal, and other will be indirect free kick. It is important to see if a referee has the hand up, it is an indirect free kick. All free kicks in small-sided football are indirect. That means the player can shoot directly at the goal, but unless someone else will touch the ball on the way towards before it reaches the goal line, it is not a goal. So during a free kick, a couple tips. We want to make sure that our defensive line is as high as possible, that we can increase the chances of a goalkeeper to catch and intercept a loft ball or a chip behind the goal line. Goalkeeper should always be able to see the ball directly because if the goalkeeper has too many players in a wall, it is very difficult for a goalkeeper to see what's going to happen, where the player is shooting, or simply what is happening. During the indirect free kicks, the tip there can be you are trying to organize as many players to the closest possible distance what the referee will set from the ball and simply react to the scenario what will happen. When we're jumping into the topic how to build a wall, we're trying to imagine a scenario where the wall simply covers a part of our goal and the goalkeeper is taking care of the rest. I would encourage only or advise that if the goalkeeper is not that experienced and basically starting with this sort of skill, be positioned more towards the middle of the goal to have it equally to both sides. Because if a goalkeeper is positioned as on the picture in here, the goalkeeper is inviting the striker to try to curve the ball into the very big space in here. If the goalkeeper is not agile enough to get there and cover the position, probably the goalkeeper would be positioned too far. So always make sure that there are a couple of rules that follow, that the wall is being offset, that the side player is always offsetting over the goal, meaning if the player would curve the ball in, it would be very difficult for the player to do so. As well, another rule of thumb is that the goalkeeper always must see the ball. Goalkeepers should clearly communicate to their teammates where to be positioned. The tip is that one of the players, presumably the one on the edge, is positioned facing towards the goalkeeper, and goalkeeper will simply adjust the wall. Goalkeeper needs to do so fast enough for the referee not to start the game before the goalkeeper is ready. So generally goalkeepers do that, they position themselves to the closest post to the ball, and then from there they organize the wall and then they move to the middle. But in our community setup, it is not always adhered to as such, meaning goalkeeper needs to quickly position themselves towards the middle, organize the wall, and be ready to save the ball. How many players to be put in a wall is personal opinion of the goalkeeper and how much courage they have in saving the ball. Generally saying 4 players should be enough from majority of the positions. The less players, the more confident the goalkeeper is in their skills. During penalties, we want to make sure that our feet are touching the line. We do not leave the line before the actual kick. And I would discourage you from moving too far to one side or doing some sort of fakes. I would encourage you to be covering more or less the middle of the goal and see how much cues you can get from the striker in terms of where the ball can go. During throw-ins and drop balls, goalkeepers still needs to be ready because there can be a direct goal scored from a drop ball. So goalkeepers, just be ready. Few final notes: be ready for a save, always see the ball, and try to practice building your wall during a training session. Try to come up with some set communication cues that you will have to your team in these scenarios.